Hello and welcome to the Philippines. How much money does it take? How much money should you bring along with you if you take a trip in the Philippines? This is after you've arrived at the Philippines, and I've had a number of people ask me that. Say, I'm going to such and such island for 4 days. How much money should I bring along? And of course, it depends upon what kind of travel you are. If you're a backpacker or if you're in the middle range, you want to be comfortable, and yet you have to uh, be careful how you spend your money. Or if you've got large bank accounts and credit card accounts, you can spend anything you want. Most of us fit in that middle range. And I'm going to address those costs because I've taken a number of trips here in the Philippines and took one here recently. Already done a number of videos on them, and going from Cebu City North Bus Terminal to Bantayan Island. And I had to, because you don't know if there are ATM machines that will work as you travel, so you need to put a certain amount of cash in your pocket. And I brought more than I needed, but I spent more than I thought I was going to spend. So going to go over those. I'm going to deal with those factors, break it down on the different expenses. I'm going to give you a daily average also, give you something to work from. We took the cheap transportation. We started down here. We got on a bus at the North Bus Terminal. There were a number of options, different types of buses, non-aircon and aircon buses. And we took a non-aircon bus up just because they were getting ready to leave almost right away. And it took us 3 hours and 40 minutes to get up here. About an hour and a half into the trip, they stopped here for a bathroom break, snack break. Anyway, when we got up here to Hagnea Port, we got on a ferry, waited about an hour for the ferry, and took the ferry across over here to Bantayan Island. From there, we got a tricycle for 20 pesos a piece to our hotel. And then going back, we pretty much did the exact opposite coming back. The cost coming back was a little more for the bus because we were on a video bus, I guess they called it. They had a loud movie playing the whole way. Fortunately, I had some earplugs along with me. Your other options are you can rent a car and drive yourself. They've got these row ferries up here, roll on, roll off. You can pay to have your vehicle transported over. Not sure what the cost of the car. I've been told that the cost to take a motorbike across on the ferry is about the same as a passenger. I'm not absolutely sure if that's accurate. You can take what they call V-Hire, van for hire, which is a 12 to 18 passenger van, and they pack the people in there, as many as they can get in there, before they leave, and can be a bit uncomfortable. Being packed in there. I once paid for 2 seats actually, so that I would have one spot for my luggage in the front seat and be able to do a little filming as well. You also have the option of getting a private van or a taxi, which will probably cost you anywhere from 3,500 pesos to 4,000 pesos to take you up to the port up here. There had been an airline that was flying into Bantayan Island some time ago. I did a video about it. Juan Air, Juan Air, and they no longer offer that service. I was told, we went out and we checked out the airport on Bantayan Island. It's set up for just small planes, and the security guard told us that if you want a plane, they will call Mactan Airport down here by Cebu and order an airplane for you to come get you. And he thought it would cost about 25,000 pesos, about 500 US dollars. But I did see smaller planes flying overhead occasionally, but they weren't landing on Bantayan at the time. There are several factors that factor into your costs of any trip, of course. If you're traveling in a group and sharing expenses, that can reduce your daily costs substantially. if you're traveling with one or more other people and you're paying the majority of cost. Of course, that certainly affects your cost for the trip. And I will even get into that controversial subject of how much does a girlfriend cost? I've done a couple videos about that, and anyway, I have separated some of that out to a degree, and I've even talked to her about it. So we've discussed that, and my budget and travel budget and those sorts of things. But anyway, I'm gonna play some of my video. We rented a motorbike for 2 days, and we spent the first full day there going around Bantayan Island. Made it all the way around there, and with a few stops and exploring a few things. But anyway, I'm going to play several clips from that trip while I'm discussing this costs of trips. And I'll give you a total at the end, and a total by the day, if it would have been by myself or with somebody else. And our taxi ride in Cebu City to the North Bus Terminal was 140 pesos, about $2.80. The bus from the North Bus Terminal up to Hagnea Port in San Romeo was 174 pesos a piece, about $3.48 a piece, for a 3-hour and 40-minute ride, or a total of 348 pesos for the two of us that I paid. The ferry going from Cebu, Hagnea Port, over to Santa Fe and Bantayan Island was 185 pesos a piece, about $3.70. All these figures are really quite low travel expenses, but they do add up, as you'll see later on, or 370 pesos a piece, $7.40. There was at the terminal there was a like an ecological fee of about I believe 20 pesos a piece. There was a terminal fee of 10 pesos a piece, I believe. The tricycle, once we got there, I believe Annika had a van that they could pick you up, but we didn't know what time we were going to get there for sure. So we just took the tricycle for 20 pesos a piece, about 40 US cents. So that came out to a total $18.50 that first day. If I was by myself, it would have come out to $10.78. That's because I still would have had to pay for the taxi, of course, unless I decided to walk, which probably wouldn't with my heavy bag. The next two expenses, hotels. We stayed at Annika Hotel, right on the beach resort actually, Annika Island Resort, and 2 nights. Booked it through Agoda.com, and 2 nights cost me 6,552 pesos, or $126. And there was a statement on their site saying save 12% if you're traveling alone. So I assumed that would bring it down to like 110 instead of 126 for the 2 nights. So right around 60 US dollars per night. And the next 2 nights, we stayed 4 nights. The next 2 nights we stayed at Coco Hotel Resort, or the hotel bar and restaurant, and I've done a video about that too. 2,704 pesos for the 2 nights, or $52, less than half what it was at the beach resort. And there again, if I would have gotten a discount for being a solo traveler, 46 versus 52 pesos, or $52 versus 46. Now the food, while we were there, we actually had 9 meals. So we averaged exactly at 4.5 days, because we ate breakfast in Cebu City at home before we left, and our dinner Friday evening was at home. So I just counted 4.5 days, 9 meals. So basically we had almost exactly 2 meals a day. We had a few snacks in between, that type of thing. And I think we averaged $13.30 US cents a day, or together about $26. And there again, there's the difference of if you're paying for 2 people or more people. And it came out to about, and that would have added up to $60 for food for 1 person, and I just divided by 2, $120 for 2 people. So if you're sharing those expenses or paying for the whole thing yourself, and came to the 9 meals after I subtracted out the drinks, the alcoholic drinks, 5,567 pesos, and so over $100 for the trip, for the food, about $120. We rented a motorbike for 2 days, and cost us 300 pesos a day. And I think you can get them for cheaper than that, but 300 pesos, $6 US. So that cost me 600 pesos plus gas. I filled it up with gas, 171 pesos. So a little over almost $4, $3 and something there for gas. We did spend a little bit at the pharmacy there. Spent about 150 pesos a piece for a couple different items that we wanted. I found a couple generic acid reduction pills that it's very difficult to find in Cebu City, as a matter of fact. And I found them there, so I bought a supply. We went island hopping, something that I'm glad we did, but I wouldn't have done it by myself, of course, but having another person or two with us. The island hopping over the couple different islands there, the total there was 2,060 pesos, about 41 US dollars. Was 1,000 for the boat. It gave him 100 to buy some bait to do a little bit of fishing. We ended up giving him a 200 peso tip at the end, and going into Virgin Island, the fee was 250 pesos a piece. So 500 pesos there for the total, and then we took the little electric scooter out to the jump area. That was 100 pesos. I think we tipped him 20 pesos, and there was I think we got some water or something for 40 pesos, so about $41 there. We stopped at the mangroves and rented a kayak there, and I've done a video about that. So the kayak rental was well, the entrance fee was I think 50 pesos, but if we rented the kayak, that was included in that. So per person, 150 pesos for 1 person. 2 people, 300 pesos. And then we bought some coconut juice, buko juice, which was 35 pesos, 70 with the 2 of us. So basically about $7 or $3.50 for one, $7. But you aren't going to rent a kayak. Probably aren't going to rent a kayak by yourself. You could certainly. And then coming back, of course, again the ferry coming back, $370, same as it was going up, $185 a piece, $370 for 2 people. The bus was a little higher because it was a media bus. It meant they played a loud movie the whole way back, and fortunately I had used some earplugs. And or 386 pesos for the 2 of us, and then the taxi back 120 pesos. Tricycles while we were up there was 20 pesos a piece around town. We took the tricycle I think about 6 times, so that ended up being 120 pesos. So in the end, I think my final total was 11,336 pesos at 50 pesos to the US dollar, that'd be about $226. Now, how much did I spend on my companion? I spent about an extra, I think about an extra $85, 85 to $90 extra, which isn't a big deal. We had a good time. I think I brought about 15,000 pesos with me, and I end up spending a lot more cash than what I thought I was going to on the way, but I had cash left over. There were places on the island that would exchange a few. Some of the resorts did have change for the 1,000 peso bills and the 500 pesos bills. There were many others that just shook their head. No, sir, we don't have change for that. My total cost per day, including the hotels that I put on credit cards, was about 2,200 pesos per day, or about $44. So you know, you can stay in the pension houses and the dormitories, the backpacker hotels, those kind of things save money. There's others who have plenty of money and aren't worried about it. I fall somewhere in that middle range, but you can take that trip for less, hang around the beach. And but when you start doing island hopping, different things, that adds to the cost, of course. And but I would just recommend that you think about your costs, how much your average cost for a meal, what you're going to eat, add up those things, and at least double it. Bring enough, have enough available cash or credit to spend about twice as much what you think you will, because those costs can increase quickly as you find things to do on an island. So I've had a number of people ask me, you know, tell me they're taking a trip and ask me, how much money should I take, do you think? And we'll take some of those factors into account. How much do you think you will spend on a meal? How many times will you eat every day? Assume that if you're kind of flying by the seat of your pants, you don't have reservations. You may have to pay cash for hotels or resorts. So check out the area and get an idea of some of the prices. If you walk into a place, it's usually more expensive than if you book online ahead of time, and depending upon the season as well. If you're in the high season, which we're starting to get into. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like the video, please share the video, please subscribe. Safe travels to you all wherever you're at, and I'll see you next time.